Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of Rendezvous with Anza Saqib on CxO Global TV. CxO Global Forum is a knowledge sharing platform for all C-levels across the globe. We take massive pride in contributing to the knowledge economy with our league of extraordinary thought leaders. Today, as well, we've got a remarkable lady with us. Her name is Neelofar Kazmi. She's a business advisor at Cultivate Advisors and also the CEO of Noha Global. Welcome to the show, Neelofar.
Thank you, Anza. Thank you for having me over. It's a pleasure indeed.
Thank you. So please tell us about your professional journey so far and your experiences. Where did it begin? How did you end up becoming this powerhouse that you are today?
Anza, thank you so much for this warm introduction. My background is from corporate world, and I started my career from the donor community and the corporate side of Pakistan, working for organizations like British High Commission and USAID and CEDA and so on and so forth, then eventually for Mobile Inc. I diversified towards starting my own business because I felt there was a huge gap in Pakistan in facility management industry. There was not any integrated model or umbrella of facility management in on the diaspora of our trades in Pakistan. Then this concept arose from there, and I started facility management in 2008, being the first female entrepreneur in this business. And it's relatively considered to be a business which is very gender biased, but I took the initiative, and I feel it is all about what you do and the passion that you have in it, and you make sure that it delivers. So that's about it. That's how I got into facility management. We got very warm response from the clients, and so far we are the third largest FM service provider in Pakistan. We hold the major market of FM industry. It includes cleaning, janitorial, plumbing, ballet, concierge, any sort of support staff, outsourcing. And then I diversified this business by opening branches in Karachi, Lahore, and then internationally in Houston. I also became the president of Islamabad Women Chamber of Commerce for the last 2020 and 21. While I was doing all this and helping small, medium business entrepreneurs in their growth plan, I was offered a position as business advisor for a Chicago-based consulting firm. So I offer my services in the towards contributing the entrepreneurship model anywhere across the world. So we sit down with small, medium business entrepreneurs, and we help them achieve their growth plan and make their dreams come true.
Absolutely, and what a brilliant portfolio. So let's talk a little about Cultivate Advisors. So what exactly does your work at Cultivate Advisors entail on a day-to-day basis?
So Anza, the good or the niche about the business consulting in Cultivate Advisors is that most of the advisors who work on this portfolio, they're all business entrepreneurs. Anybody who has worked for more than 10 years as an entrepreneur in any industry or any trade, that person is capable of becoming a business advisor, because we know and feel the pain of an entrepreneur. When you start a business, what kind of pain points you have to stay up in the middle of the night, you have to manage the payrolls, you have to make sure that the client is satisfied. So an entrepreneur, when he or she becomes a business advisor, he sits down with another entrepreneur, and we develop the entire growth plan of that business, working on major 6 propellers of the business, which includes your HR, staffing, your recruitment, leadership, productivity, and then of course the most important engine or hub of the business, which is financial engine. So we make sure that we set up the right benchmarks and KPIs, and then we work on the sales funnels and the business plans and the marketing side of the business, and we run all the 6 propellers of the business in parallel with that business owner, and we make sure that all the KPIs are met and the targets are met within the time frame. So for example, if somebody owns a business worth $2 million, and their target is to make it to a $5 million business in the next 3 years. So we set up the entire charts, and we set up the entire growth plan, what they need to do at what point in time and how it will become effective. And then we change the trends, keeping the financial data, keeping the background history and the analytics in mind. Then we change those trends accordingly. We sit down with each other every 2 weeks, and we make sure that we are meeting those targets.
Sounds quite impactful. Now, we've already heard what your thought process was behind Noha Global and what your value proposition is. But let's dive deep into it. How do you view the general startup ecosystem in Pakistan? Do you think it provides an enabling environment? And what are perhaps some of your policy recommendations?
So I would add here, Anza, that entrepreneurial ecosystem in Pakistan is flourishing at the moment. It is a raw market right now. Everything is new in our country. If you compare it with the West, what West was doing 50 years ago, we're doing it now. So basically, it's a very lucrative market for every business opportunity. And then post-COVID, I think the thought process of a lot of entrepreneurs have changed, and we have become digitalized, and the markets are becoming shrinker, and you are tapping the international market more proactively. However, having said that, there are a lot of challenges. There's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the political diaspora. There's also a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the financial institutional setup in our country. Like if you want to, for example, open a business account as an international company or a local company, what kind of challenges do you face? For example, you're looking for a startup seed money, what kind of challenges you have to go through while gathering that seed money? Similarly, everybody wants to start business, but many people leave it in the middle of it because their determination level is low. So people are not persistent about what they do. One day they start one business. Okay, fine, I want to do something in the IT industry. And 6 months later, you find out, oh, they are started their own clothing line. And then 6 months later, you find out that, oh, they have, regenerated their setup and they're now diversifying towards exporting manufactured items. So having said that, I think what you start, then you stay persistent with that business. But at the same time, the support network that we have in Pakistan for local ecosystem of entrepreneurship is relatively not as smooth. And the government regulations are getting better day by day, like FBR and SCCP and the taxation policies. But at the same time, I think we still have a lot of hiccups and a lot of challenges that young entrepreneurs get scared of, and then they pull back and they refrain from, sustaining that business model. So this is my, 2 cents about it.
Very pertinent points made indeed. And moving on. So, just like you said, most startups we know of, especially in our part of the world, fail in their infancy. Now, critically analyze this statement, and what would your advice be for startup founders other than just following through?
Well, I would say that first of all, before you start a business, the most important thing is to do the proper research and marketing and proper analysis of that business, whether it is going to be a viable business in that area or that community geographically, it is going to be viable to run that system. Then make sure that you have a proper business plan in place. We start a business, we get into operations, we sell the product or we sell the services, and then we decide, okay, fine, now we want to diversify towards marketing because our business is not flourishing. So we waste a lot of money on SEO and social media and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden we realize, oh my God, we have run out of all the money that we had put in together because we spent it on marketing either or the product. But we do not analyze, again, I'll come back to that business model of 6 propellers of business, that first of all, set up your business plan, set up the KPIs, set up the foundation right, make sure that all the 6 propellers of business are aligned. Your recruitment is in hand with your HR and your productivity, and your leadership skills are also there. And then you start the business. And I would personally recommend that if it is possible, find some mentors in the local industry who have done similar work and take their guidance. And honestly, nowadays, the learning has come to the point our mentors are available for us. I mean, I am a regular speaker at NIC, and I go there and meet, people over there, and I see all of these startups, and I'm so proud of them that, there is such a good mentorship program nowadays at all these places. So having said that, for that, there was a meeting reminder on my desktop. So having said that, I think it is very, very important to have a proper business foundation laid first, and the budgets are calculated, and then you jump into the waters. And then when you jump in the water, then don't look back, because you'll find a lot of hiccups, but you have to pass through those. That's my recommendation.
Brilliant recommendations. So now let's talk a little bit about your own personal life. So we know that you are very, very busy, and I know that you also have a family. So how do you maintain a work-life balance? How do you unwind?
Okay, so I think I've learned it took me a while to understand that working 18 hours of the day does not mean that you're a successful CEO. And that means that you're very disorganized. You need to organize your desk. You can actually do a lot of quality work if you set up your right, timelines for everything. Similarly, when you work by the calendar, when you work by the hour or by the minute, then you know exactly what you're doing. You limit yourself in those things. So I work by my calendar and by my work. So I know that this is the time that I have to give to my advising role. This is the time that I have to give to my CEO role for my facility management business. This is the time that I need to put in towards my children. And I give them quality time when I'm talking to my children, when I'm around them, when I don't have my cell phones and I don't have my laptop and I don't have anything around. I have a 4-month-old, I have a 7-year-old, and I have a 10-year-old. So, and they all are from very different, diversified thought processes and their different likings. So I have to show that all of them are well taken care of. And as you know, that we have less help in US, more help in Pakistan. So I kind of manage and juggle between that. My quality time is usually when I do yoga and I meditate, and I'm a very regular yogi, and I do a lot of breathing exercises in between my meetings and also in between my gaps that I get while I do all this. And then I like to unwind on the weekends by watching something interesting. I'm a TV person altogether, so I love to watch news and I love to watch, movies, and I go out with my children and I enjoy my time with my family, and that's my relief time, I would say.
Very, very encouraging to hear. And I'm sure a lot of people will take note of maintaining a very strict calendar now. So, moving on, what inspires you to show up to work daily?
Wow. Well, and what inspires me to show up to work, I think it is my passion and my why behind the work that I do. It's about giving in any medium or any form, and making sure that there are people out there who are getting benefited from your work. I mean, what is the purpose of life if you're doing everything for your own self? So I'm a very giving person. I enjoy it when I talk to business owners and I know I see the happiness on their face and we're like, oh my God, I didn't know that I could run my business this way and my dreams would come true. Similarly, when I'm working with my facility management industry and I talk to those blue collar workforce, those young janitors or cleaners who come to my workspace and they want to work as janitors, and they get empowered by getting those jobs, and those gardeners and those cleaners. So I mean, their approach and their mindset and happiness brings my joy. So it keeps me going. The way I love my children, similarly, I love my clients and I also love my workforce. So I think that's the key behind my waking up every day. I mean, Anza, just a small example. I had a meeting in Pakistan today, last night. So I woke up at 12 in the night, did my meeting till 1. And then I finished that, I wrapped up. And then I had a client meeting from 4 to 5 a.m., did that. And then then I started my US office, and then I do a Pakistan office. So I think there is definitely a drive out there which is keeping me going.
Absolutely. And it's very inspiring to hear all of this coming from you. Now, moving on, how do you perceive failure?
There is a saying that everybody falls 7 times and get up 8 times. And I believe in that strongly. And when you have faith and when you know that you can do it, you have 2 hands and you have your brain and you have your smartness and intelligence, no matter what hurdles come in between, you will do it. I mean, there is a way out for everything. And Allah, I have a very strong faith in that, whatever happens for a reason. First of all, you are the most responsible person for everything that happens in your life. Any kind of failure that comes your way, people say, whoa, that was our luck, that's why it happened, things like that. For you are also a very important component in having that happen. So for me, I think it is about falling down, bending on your knees, praying, and then getting up and then doing it all over again. That's what life is all about.
True that. And, it's been a very, very insightful discussion with you. Unfortunately, we're running out of time for today's interview, but I still have 2 more things that I would like to ask you. So number one being, you've shared some great insight with us, thought-provoking, insightful messages throughout your interview. However, I would like to ask you, did you have any mentor or any particular advice given to you at some point in your life that has stuck by you till this day?
Yes, and I do have mentors in my life, and one of them, I have mentors when it comes to as my life coach, and I have mentors who also are there when it comes to my work life and my personal life. I feel I must share here. My partner in life is also my mentor, it's my husband, and then also I listen to him, and there are a lot of good suggestions that keep on coming from him. At the same time, my mentor at work, Mr. Furqan Qureshi and me, we have been working together, and I've been working under his guidance for quite some years. And there was one very nice saying that and that I remember, that systems make work happen, but people make systems. So make sure that your people and systems are aligned. So I always remember that you have to create the system, but you also need those hands who are going to work in that system. So always believe that systems and people should be handled together. So this is something that I would like to share, and I believe in that strongly.
Wonderful. Now, towards the end, what do you think is the utility of forums like CxO Global?
Utility, I think this is where we are, both of us sharing our knowledge platform and also getting to know so many businesses across the community. I mean, how would we highlight those business owners who are doing so much with such a potential around? So I think the CxO Global Forum has brought us all on one platform, and we get to know what the other person is doing, how we're contributing towards the society and the ecosystem of the entrepreneurship world. Our mission to make entrepreneurs successful and make this world better by entrepreneurs is only possible by the forums like CxO Global. So I think I wish you all the best, and thank you for inviting me for this.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been an honor and a privilege. Please keep contributing to the knowledge economy, and we look forward to hearing more from you very soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Anza. Thanks a lot. Look after yourself.
Thank you. We appreciate the time. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. Please stay tuned for more interesting guests and other interviews. We're looking forward to your feedback and comments. I'll see you next time.